Fellas, chodes, neats, gamers. I want to ask you a question. Are you oppressed by society for being a gamer? To the point where you're forced to stay in your room, fearing even to step outside? Has your room now become the only place where you feel like you could actually just take a moment to breathe, away from all the constant abuse? Have you reduced to nothing but a caged animal wishing to return to the pack? Have you ever pissed in a bottle? Well, I'm here to say you're not alone, buddy. Millions of gamers go through this every day. I'm here to bring you some hope. I finally rose up. Like any good uprising, it started in a fucked up situation. And not just any fucked up situation. It's the kind where your ass is up against the wall and you're just shit out of luck. You know the kind. The one where you forget to wash the dishes and your mom comes home from work only to see your ass still staring at the Windows home screen with moaning blasting from the headphones. The only thing you can really do in that moment is pray to the RNG she doesn't start asking questions. It's a fact that most of us will at some point be in a similar situation. It's only a matter of time, really. For me, it just so happened to occur during middle school. Now for background, each one of us in middle school is guilty of doing some pretty retarded stuff, all in the vain hopes of attaining that sweet social recognition. Whether that's trying to impress a girl, looking cool, or just trying to appear normal. And I'm gonna come out and say that for most of my middle school years, they were pretty lackluster at best. I really didn't have anything going for me. I was in a mostly Hispanic school, and I wasn't in any sports or clubs or even a fucking B student. Now, during my time in middle school, I really only had one quote-unquote friend who was also into the same stuff I was in, mostly drawing, basketball, and gaming. The only downside about this friend was he was kind of a massive pro, and that's using the word lightly. This dude one time got in trouble for looking up a girl's skirt. He tried to play it off like it was just some accident that the pencil just so happened to roll under her desk and he just so happened to have an erection. You know, the usual. If I had to sum him up, he was your classic edgy dude. Dude was deep into anime. Yeah, well anyways, this dude and I would spend most of our time at lunch debating between each other. One day the topic of which character from Waifu Emblem was best grill came up. It was truly a battle of intellectuals. Only 300 plus IQ Ben Shapiro himself was denied entry. And it was in one of these heated debates that the topic of hotness came into discussion, where he began thinking less with his head and more with his chode. And in his moment of brilliance, he thought of a plan. He was gonna see them emblem titties. We ended up doing a competition where we would draw our best grill, and the loser would owe the other one his drawing. The only problem was, they had to be naked. Fuck it. I wasn't gonna risk the friendship. Peer pressure. Let it consume you. I spent most of the night drawing my masterpiece, and the next day the fucker doesn't even show up. He texted me when I got to school saying he had a headache. Fuck, what the hell do I do now with this contraband, I thought. I ended up putting the drawing in one of my overall binders, which I carried everywhere I went. Force of habit. The beginning of the day was just like all the rest, boring as all fuck. But when second hour came, shit just went and hit the fan. A fucking girl loses her phone. She gets up from her chair, frantically crying. Everyone in the class goes silent, looking at each other, looking all confused. She began to scream from the top of her lungs, saying that somebody stole her iPhone. After this, she begins accusing people left and right of stealing it. The teacher tried to call her phone using her own, but no shit, it was on silent during the school day. At this point, she was on full psycho mode. A part of me thought this was divine justice, that this Stacy finally got what was coming to her. No good comes from being a thought. The teacher at this point was getting pretty annoyed at the constant crying that she decided to make everyone empty out their pockets. She called in the vice principal for added measure. Still no luck locating the sauce. Then the vice principal said those fucking words. Alright, if no one's gonna step up, we'll just have to search your binders. As soon as those fucking words were said, my fucking mind was going a million miles a second. I was in full panic mode. I couldn't think of anything to do. That feeling you get when you know you're in trouble and it manifests into a black hole into your ribcage? Yeah, well, mine was going ape shit. My fucking palms were set. I could see my heartbeat through my vision. The fucking drawing was the first one showing. This girl just had to lose her phone, didn't she? It's all just one big fucking conspiracy, bros. What are the fucking odds she loses her phone when I decide to bring some gamer titties? Fucking hell, man. I thought to myself, this is it. This is where my whole reputation goes down the shitter. Every nerve in my body was telling me to bail, but my body was just frozen from the utter shock of this bitch. Everyone's gonna know that I drew those boobies. Feels bad, man. One by one, the vice principal was making the whole class open up their folders and their binders. My desk was in front of the teachers, so she could see everything I did. For fuck's sake, I couldn't even get rid of it. Fuck you, Michael. There was no way out, boys. In all forms except physical, I was cucked. But your boy wasn't going down without a fight. I felt a surge of energy flow within me, and I grabbed Faith by the throat and took my chances. It was now or never, boys. It was time to rise up. I ended up dropping the biggest fart this side of the I make my own luck, boys. The class had to evacuate the premise. Took the drawing from the binder, hid the evidence, got suspended, nicknamed Nazi for the rest of the school year by my classmates for gassing up the room. Class reputation? None. Possibility of getting a girlfriend? Gone. Minorities? Oppressed. Yup, it was truly an epic gamer moment.